think that's a personal choice, because um, a lot of people going to do music and expecting it to pay them immediately right off the start. And the unfortunate thing is that it's not like that. It's very competitive. So you're competing with some of the best of the best. Social media came to play where social media is a big juggernaut. So if you have a lot of followers, if you have 80K, 97K followers, TikTok, Instagram, whatever, so social media platform you use, they're more interested in your followers than your talent. So if someone only has 200 followers, but they're phenomenal, they're like the next Freddie Mercury. They're insanely good, but they only have 200 followers. And then there's someone else who has like 87K or 97K. They have their brand ambassadors, they're on TikTok 24/7, they have a personality. People are gonna lean more to them to the person who's more popular on social media because of how many followers are, even though they don't sing that well. What it has nothing to do with the pandemic. I think it's how popular someone is in social media now. I wish it wasn't like that, but unfortunately it is. We don't talk about J-Lo, and I don't care who's coming after me, but we all know, and I'm
Mm,
looking at the camera, we all know J-Lo is the first generation of the industry plant. I
mhm.
mean, we all heard Mariah, what she has to say, and I'm sorry, but I believe Mariah 100% when it comes to how Tommy Mottola wanted to screw over his ex-wife, which was Mariah Carey, and
Mm.
put J-Lo in the forefront. Therefore, J-Lo became an industry plant.
Me,
But she's known to take other people's music and use their vocals over hers, so it looks so and splice it up to make it sound pretty. They were a girl group way before Destiny's Child, way before the other girl groups. And
yeah.
their singers were they're good singers. They're church choir singers, so they had pipes
Mm.
for days. And they were doing R&B and they were the top of the charts. And now if there's a one member named Dawn, she lives in her car and she's homeless now. And I love music, but would I like, you know, quit my day job, quit everything for something that can like be taken away from me in a minute? I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's scary, especially AI. With AI now, oh my God, I can make you sound on AI like the best voice ever. Mostly rap, but some musicians try to stay relevant by trying to relate to people who are in poverty. And it's like you're creating a persona that was never you. Just be honest about it. Don't lie just so you can relate. It's people who really live that poor life never didn't are not really like, oh, I'm glad I lived a poor life my whole life. No, I bet they wish they could have lived like you, better
Yeah.
life. So it just makes me upset when people do that. It really does. I think women get targeted a lot for being themselves. Madonna was targeted a lot for being herself. Madonna in her 30s, mid 30s, was like doing like erotica, S&M type of stuff. She was already in her 30s. And people were
Mm.
like going after her, talking, saying how trash she is. I'm like, she's in her 30s.
Yeah.
She's not she's not that young anymore. And she's going through a transition of her life where she wants to talk about sex, and she can. It's okay for a guy to do it, but not for a woman to do it. It's ridiculous. And even now it's becoming a thing. So I just I think the reason why Taylor Swift got so popular because Taylor Swift doesn't talk about that. You can hear the lyrics. You're just like, what the heck were they thinking in the 80s? In the
Oh,
80s, there was a lot of songs that had to do about younger women and older men. Do you think Mariah, like, no matter what people think about her, how they feel about her, and they're like, oh, she's a diva, and I'm like, well, yeah, she's been doing this forever. She's been doing this for a really long time. She has the pipes to back it up.
mm.
She's one of the hardest working women in the music industry. So I think she can be. To hear how Whitney Houston, one of the top selling female musicians of all time, her demise, she died pretty broke. I think her father took a lot of her money. Bobby Brown took a lot of her money.
Yeah.
The music industry took a lot of her money, and she was working, working, working all the time that she relied on drugs to keep her going. She was a workhorse, and unfortunately, it took away her voice, took away everything she had. It even took away her own daughter in the future. And it's just a really sad story.
Hey everyone, this is Abhi from No-Budget Filmmaking Podcast, and here with me is Pamela. Hi, Pamela. For our audience, would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, my name is Pam Z, but I guess my full name Pamela, but I go by Pam.
Okay. What did you do right now? What career stage are you right now?
Career stage, I would say that I'm currently in the process of well, I started my production company, which is called LiZ Productions, which we basically help book other bands and book work with venues and producing live shows, live events, mostly with tribute bands. I'm part of a tribute band as well, the Deftones tribute band. So I perform here and there as well, along with the production company that I put together for other tribute bands to perform in.
Okay. So, what do you, for those who don't know, what's a tribute band?
Basically a band that covers music that's already out there. So, for example, like Kiss, a tribute band for Kiss would be someone playing Kiss's music and kind of dressing up like them. That's a
Hmm.
tribute band. So playing homage to another band that's already out there, but playing in small circles, like small bars, small venues, like not like the real bands.
Hmm. And how did you get into this industry?
Well, I started playing myself for a tribute band. So I started doing music with other bands and playing with other bands. So I would say, yeah, that's how it kind of started.
Hmm. And the music scene, how did you get into that?
Um, well, I started music years ago when I was a kid. Or was I played saxophone, clarinet. I stopped for a while to focus on my real career, which is my day job, which I don't really like to talk about. I keep that a secret. But once my day job started going, I went to college and I got my degrees, and I was able to finance myself and take care of my living expenses and everything. Then I started going back to doing music again. Because unfortunately, in the music scene, you kind of have to spend money to make money. It's one of those things. So I didn't want to do music without any money or any income at all coming my way. So I wanted to make sure I was at least able to fund my music career.
Hmm. And what about okay, you brought in a really good point that every musician I talk to, they say they don't have any money as of now for some reason. Is it a current trend or was it always the trend?
I think that's a personal choice because um, a lot of people go into do music and expecting it to pay them immediately right off the start. And the unfortunate thing is that it's not like that. It's very competitive. So you're competing with some of the best musicians out there. So to make a living off of it, especially the economy we have now, is really hard. Maybe 1964, 74, or even 1984 it's more of a possibility, but coming from the late 90s and 2000s where music's everywhere, even AI is taking over, it's really, really hard to make a living, and especially if you don't have anything to finance it, like any a side job or a side hustle or even a current job. So I honestly don't know how they do it. Bless their hearts. Personally, my personal choice is I like to make sure I have food and a place to and not worry about that. So if I don't make enough money from a gig, still have my money from my real job, financing everything I need. So I don't know how to speak for them in their behalf. That's just my personal choice.
Hmm. But the time management would be for you, right? There you have to manage both of this, a day job, a night, not a night
Mhm.
job, but your passion and also some other personal things. So,
Yeah, exactly. The good thing about it is that you can use music as a part-time. So a lot of people have part-time jobs, even if it's not music. It can be as an artist, painting. It can be an actor. So a lot of actors have their day job and their night job or vice versa. So the beauty about, United States, California, all the states that you can have two jobs and still be able to function and work part-time jobs and still follow your passion. I think the guy from The Hangover, he was a doctor. Being a doctor is long hours, and a lot of years of medical training. And he was able to finance what he wanted to do, which was to be a comedian. Um, and now he's a full-time comedian, so he's no longer a doctor. I forget his name, but he was from The Hangover.
Ken
Um,
Jeong.
Ken John, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It makes sense, but what is like to represent these people, the production company? Is it more like okay, first is what's your hiring process, or you just get any band that comes to your way?
Oh no, that's not any band. It's bands that I've worked with in the past that I played shows with that I play shows with other places where I'm not the booker, where it's other bookers, where it's other production companies. And if I like the band and we are are good with one another, we get along, I invite them to play one of our other shows and say, hey, I'm putting a show together. Do you want to join? And they'll say, yeah. So it's about that. And their expectations, of course, they'll tell me like this is what they're expecting, this is what they want. So we get everything out of the way before we finalize the final booking and the final stages of putting the event together.
Hmm.
What we don't do is we don't charge to play. I don't believe in that. I will not believe in that. I know a lot of places do that, like we'll charge 300, 400 to play somewhere, and I just don't feel it. Like we're going through an economy, we're going through a hard recession right now. So why am I charging people that are barely making ends meet 300 or 400 to play a 6 p.m. time slot or a 7 p.m. time slot? It's it's ludicrous. I mean, sure, if you have the money, go ahead, and if it's a big enough venue, like if the the whiskey makes sense to charge because it's the whiskey. But if you're charging someone $300 for a bar somewhere in the middle of nowhere, it's a big loss because you have I guess you have to pick your battles. It's worth paying certain venues 300 to $400 if there's going to be a lot of people and a lot of exposure. But if it's out in the middle of nowhere and you're paying for that, there's just what's the reward? And you're
Hmm.
paying for probably five people. So
Yeah.
I don't see the value in it.
Yeah, absolutely. I get it, but there's a saying like beggars cannot be choosers. So that's I don't know how someone filters that because again, I'm not a musician. I don't know anything about music, by the way. So for a band, especially since I think the rock bands and all the other bands are not famous anymore for some reason, which makes me really mad. But don't you think it will be like that? Like some people would be desperate enough to do that.
But yeah, and if they're able to pay for that, then they're more than welcome to. It's their money. It's just it's unfortunate that they should if they're unable to pay for it and they're really good musicians, because then that's taking away, let people who want to find out what new music is, new music trend is. Like people want to see it up close, live and personal, and don't always want to go to SoundCloud or TikTok or wherever other social media platform is to see a live band, because you can do a lot of editing through that. You can fix the audio, fix everything. So you don't get to experience the in-person live band, but let's say like some local venue was hosting an event with brand new punk bands or punk band night or metal night, and you get to discover all these new bands, which is something that, unfortunately Spotify won't be opening your eyes to, because they also make you pay for if you're an upcoming original band and you want to put your music out there, they charge you a lot. A lot of social media places charge bands or musicians in general a lot just to put their music out there. So it is kind of sad when you can just go anywhere and just discover these bands in other places without having to do that. I mean, that I guess I call me old-fashioned, but I believe in being at the right place in the right time and discovering new music.
Yes, absolutely. And the music, and again, as you said, Spotify and everything, and you just listen to some people, and I'm not sure if the rave culture is a little bit interesting in that regard, but uh, the genre of bands, especially rock bands or alt rock or punk rock, is it's really it's not as it used to be, like in early 2000 or late 90s, or obviously 17 and 80s was full with rock. So, did you saw that too?
I didn't get to experience it as much because I was young, very young, and I wasn't allowed to go out that much. I till this day I didn't get to experience the rave scene. I've only been to three raves my whole life, and I'm it's beautiful. It's an experience, but I don't know much of the culture. But it's a very beautiful event to be. Whoever puts raves together, that's a lot of work. So bless them. I'm more of I like to watch jazz musicians, classical guitar, metal, punk, alternative, pop. As long as it's good and the energy's good, I'm open for it. Even DJs, I'm open for DJs, whatever kind of music it is, as long as it's just good music and that everybody's having a good time. That's what I'm open to. And in the 90s, I think they used to have a lot of acoustic singers in coffee shops, if I'm not correct, right? I'm going from videos and TV shows that I was watching from relics of that. And I believe in the 70s, they had a lot of that too out in the streets. People would just play guitar. Um, I think a lot, like I think isn't someone got this Ed Sheeran got discovered playing in the streets, right? If I'm correct. He was like
Yes.
in a mall somewhere just playing in the streets, and I think it was Taylor Swift who discovered him. I could be wrong.
Yes. I'm not sure either, so
Yeah,
kind
it's
of.
something like that, but it's something like that. Michelle Branch got discovered by Madonna, also acoustic singer. Open mic nights, which is rare nowadays, but when people have open mic nights, that's when people come in and start singing the original music and playing. So I think the most we get compared to the 70s, 80s is now we have just open mic nights for people to discover music.
And what about it's really interesting point that you brought up. There was chances before. I don't know when they vanished. Was it because of the pandemic? I cannot use the word because the YouTube is weird about that. They can suspend my channel or something. But is it
Mm,
pandemic re responsible for that? That a lot of options went
mm-mm.
away?
No, what happened was that basically uh, social media came to play where social media is a big juggernaut. So if you have a lot of followers, if you have 80K, 97K followers, TikTok, Instagram, whatever, so social media platform you use, they're more interested in your followers than your talent. So if someone only has 200 followers, but they're phenomenal, they're like the next Freddie Mercury. They're insanely good, but they only have 200 followers. And then there's someone else who has like 87K or 97K. They have their brand ambassadors. They're on TikTok 24/7. They have a personality. People are gonna lean more to them to the person who's more popular on social media because of how many followers are. Even though they don't sing that well, they they're not talented in that aspect. They just lean to make them give them more of a platform than someone who actually has talent. I've seen that before in TikTok. I think there was these guys who just all they did was I talk about music, not music of food and just rated food, and then they wanted to have a music career, and they sound awful. They didn't know anything about music. They've never sang before, and they were able to, because of like their popularity, they were able to get a big stage, a huge stage somewhere with a whole production, and it's just them yelling about food. So so I'm just like, huh, that I think that's what it has nothing to do with the pandemic. I think it's how popular someone is in social media now. I wish it wasn't like that, but unfortunately it is.
Mhm. Okay, that's kind of sad because I think I have seen it too, but in a DJ scene. Like there's one DJ that is he's like really good, like really really good, but he does not have a lot of followers. And there's another, and that's why I think he doesn't get booked a lot. And there's another DJ that I'm not gonna say who, but they have a really good following and they're not as good. No one likes their music. No one goes to their floor whenever they're playing, but they're booking gigs after gigs after gigs and bigger venues. Slowly splits up like from Las Vegas to somewhere in Europe. And it's just like, it's sad to see. Like, you're not as talented, you're just popular.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the case. They work with brands, and they're probably doing they're doing videos for t in TikTok for their brands, for everything that they're going to be having out next, whatever it is, even their style, from their makeup to their hair, from everything. They're selling all that. So of course more people want to invest in them because they become a product, or what they call an industry plant. I think that's the term, right? Yeah, a
Yeah.
plant. Um, I mean, I might get in trouble for this one, but oh well. Like, sorry, but what's her name? The lady with the orange hair, Cinnamon. No, no, not Cinnamon. Ice Spice, Ice Spice.
Ice Spice, yeah.
She's known as the biggest industry plant, and I have to be honest. I agree. I I I don't see it. I don't know. Someone needs to explain to me what I'm not seeing, because I like rap just as much as anybody else too. Um, Doja Cat's talented, regardless of everything going on in her personal life. She's very talented. When she first started, she mixed her own music. Those were her beats. She rapped over them. That song, "I'm a Cow." That was all her, produced by her, the video, everything. She's self-made. Nobody helped her, and she was a hustler. She was going and going and going, doing shows, and going on live streams talking about her shows. So she deserved what she got, the fame and everything, because she worked hard. Lady Gaga is another example. She was not an industry plant. No one helped her. She knew nobody. She's just a very talented musician, vocalist, songwriter, pianist, and she created her own brand, and she deserves where she's at. So there's so many people that do work hard enough, but then there's those other ones where I don't understand, don't make sense to me. Is it because they did one song and it's got popular, and then all of a sudden, like, now they can, they can sell more shows than someone who is more famous? To me, it doesn't make sense. It's very confusing. But I think that's a term everybody's using now, industry plants, and there's a lot of them going on now on social media, unfortunately.
What makes you think that someone is a industry plant? For example, Ice Spice, for example, she had one good song. I don't remember which one it was, and the other one was with "Boys a Liar" Part Two, if I'm not wrong, that she featured in, and that's why she blew up. I don't remember exactly, but
I
yeah.
don't either. And also, Tekashi 69 is one of those industry plants as well. Uh,
Mm.
Tekashi 69, the backstory on him is, I can't think of I don't know any of his music. I don't-
Okay,
I
yeah,
just
me
yeah,
neither.
I think I've listened to one song that had Nicki Minaj in it, because I do think Nicki Minaj is talented.
Mm.
And she has bars. But I didn't understand why he got famous either. And I think during the 2011, there was this whole thing about like doing like a crossover of rap, punk, emo. Everybody was getting face tattoos, and Post Malone was part of it. I think he was like the first wave of it. And his songs were good. Like, he got discovered on SoundCloud. But if you look at him now, it's like he's completely not that person. He's not the same. He doesn't rap anymore. He just does raw country. And there was a wave on 2011 where everybody looked the same, like the face tattoos, the color hair, the the
Yes,
chains of I
yes,
think
yes,
Timothy Chalamet did a good sketch on SNL
yes,
about that. I
yeah.
remember they were citing people like that because that was what was popular then. I don't know if it is now. I doubt it,
Mm.
but that was it. So even if someone didn't have talent and just kept saying yee yee multiple times, they're like
Yes.
they're like, okay, cool, we're gonna sign you. You're it. So I think that's what makes people an industry plant because I can do that too. But I'm
Yes.
not gonna get face tattoos, but
Yeah, the temporary ones, the makeup.
you
We can do
know,
makeups.
yeah, but remember how many of them there were? I was like, wow. And a lot of them sounded the same and weren't good at all. So I think she was part of that wave too. And I just I just don't see it. I don't get it. I mean, someone needs to explain it to me, and then maybe I get a better perspective of her music skills. But I'm really trying, and I watch YouTube videos every day about musicians who are plants, who lost it and had it, who lost everything overnight, who are very famous, all of it. And the most videos I see is about her, how people are just not into her anymore, and she's getting targeted. I mean, I'm not targeting her like I'm just one reason I bring her up because she's getting targeted on YouTube continuously, like almost every day.
I don't know why is that the case because I like YouTube as much as the next guy, maybe a little bit too much, but
Hmm.
um, there's a lot of other creators that kind of deserve it, but not Ice Spice. I think she didn't do that bad. I think she didn't said slurs. She didn't said anything extremely mean or something disgusting like what David did or Diddy
Yeah.
did.
Oh no, we
It's
don't talk
nothing.
about that man. That man is a monster. And I don't know her background. I think she might be a good person, a nice person. I'm just saying, like the way they're talking is just because she's not. I guess musically, she's not trying as hard as the other girls who would try harder. Megan Thee Stallion has bars for days. That woman is a beast. Uh, if you look at, I believe the Double XL, when they have the Double XL is basically a magazine where they have the freshman class of new upcoming rappers,
Hmm.
and they all have to freestyle one another and basically have a small rap battle. And I saw a video when she first was coming up, and wow, she was just having bar after bar after bar, just annihilating people. And I'm like, that's talent. I could never. I could never. On top of that, she's a show person. She's very talented. She knows how to move. She's very beautiful. She's got it. She's the whole package. And you can tell, like you can tell when someone really works hard in their craft and when someone doesn't. Like, I mean, I'll take it back to the earlier 2000s with Iggy Azalea. Remember her?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I
yeah.
only like one song that she did with Trouble with Kate Hudson or is it yeah, it's some yeah, that one. And that
Oh,
was
yeah, Charlie XCX one, the fancy.
yeah, the Fancy, and there's one that is named Trouble, and she did it with she featured Kate Hudson in it. That's the only two song I did. And there was this one song she did with Jennifer Lopez, and it was just
Oh yeah,
that music
Bubble Butt or
videos.
something with, but we don't talk about J-Lo, and I don't care who's coming after me, but we all know, and I'm
Hmm.
looking at the camera, we all know J-Lo is the first generation of the industry player.
What?
Talk the first generation. I mean, let's be honest here. I, someone needs to explain to me how J-Lo is so talented. I mean, we all heard Mariah, what she has to say, and I'm sorry, but I believe Mariah 100% when it comes to how Tommy Mottola wanted to screw over his ex-wife, which was Mariah Carey, and put J-Lo in the forefront. Therefore, J-Lo became an industry plant. No one can convince me otherwise that this woman has talent. Like, can she dance? Can she dance? Yes, I'll give her that. Can she dance? Of course, she can dance loops around so many people, even till this day. I'll never take that away. Can she sing? No. No.
Okay.
She was the first wave of it. It's because the reason why she got where she got is because she was Jennifer Lopez. She just came off Selena. And that's Selena, the Selena, the
Yes.
Texas native Selena, Mexico Selena. So to be known as the actress who portrayed such an idol, you're gonna have a lot of popularity.
Yeah, but that
Which
movie wasn't received well. Sorry to interrupt.
Oh no, 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 you're right, you're right. It wasn't. But she still, she had the permission of Selena's family. They gave the approval. I saw Selena and I didn't think it was a bad movie. Obviously Selena's voice was used and not Jennifer Lopez's voice. She likes to claim that was her voice, but we all
Mm,
know better.
mm,
Like,
yeah.
so so then she was brought up that her vocals were Ashanti's vocals. Like
What?
that song cause I'm real the way, that song,
Yeah.
that's Ashanti singing in the back.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and
Really?
then that's not her vocals. And I don't know if she gave her credit or not, but that was Ashanti. That's one example. And then what's the other song called? Play it all night long. That one's Christina Milian.
Okay.
And
I
then
don't know any of these names.
yeah, then Jenny from the Bronx was this other lady who had an original, that was her song originally. She took it, kept the backup vocals that belonged to this other lady. I don't know her name right now. But she's known to take other people's music and use their vocals over hers, so it looks so, and splice it up to make it sound pretty. And I don't respect that from her. I don't believe she's done the real work. And when her movie flopped, The Kiss of the Spider Woman, I was thinking, well, of course it's gonna flop. You are not a musical theater singer. There's a difference between being
Hmm.
a singer like acoustic singer, a pop singer, or, rock singer.
Hmm.
Musical theater is a different kind of animal to sing to. You have to project and project really. Your vocals have to be on point. And so she was really expecting her to be this powerhouse of a vocalist, and she claimed that she was a musical theater person, but she's not. We all know she wasn't. When you look at Wicked, at Ariana Grande, she has musical training. Rita, I believe that's her name, right? The one that plays the
Alphaba?
the yeah, Alphaba. She has musical training, obviously. So that's why those movies did well, because you can tell when someone has musical training and when someone doesn't. And I just, the audacity, some people are just delusional. And I'm not trying to take away anything from anyone and say, if you want it, work for it. Don't come out of the woodwork saying I'm this and that when you're really not. It's insane how many people are like that, and it's like takes a lot to master your craft, like a lot of time and patience. Exactly. It is who's more popular. But it's just sad, and it's been like that for a long time. And artists who were very famous in the 90s, late 90s, 2000s, who were singers, powerhouse singers, like Dawn from In Vogue, remember In Vogue in the 90s?
I unfortunately don't.
They were an R&B group. They were a girl group way before Destiny's Child, way before the other girl groups. And
Yeah.
their singers were really, really, they're good singers. They're church choir singers, so they had pipes for days. And they were doing R&B and they were the top of the charts. And they were as famous as TLC before TLC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they were part of that era. And now if there's a one member named Dawn, she lives in her car and she's homeless now.
What? Really?
She's not a drug addict, she's not alcohol, nothing like that. She's perfectly stable, and the industry's just not mean, and to people who are like got Grammys, like they're not nice. And I love music, but would I like, you know quit my day job, quit everything for something that can like be taken away from me in a minute? I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's scary, especially AI. With AI now, oh my God, I can make you sound on AI like the best voice ever. You can
Yeah.
sing like there's an episode, like I don't know if you watch South Park. Do you watch South Park?
I watch South Park and I sporadically watch it, so I'm not. Yeah, maybe I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, did you ever see this episode where Randy Marsh like says
Hmm.
he's Lord and he's
Uh,
explaining to Kyle that he's Lord, Lord like the
oh,
singer Lord?
yeah, yeah. Oh,
And
for
he's
the
like, "No, you're
royal.
not." And he's like, "No, you're not, because Lord's talented." And then he starts singing a song, and he shows how he auto tunes himself, how he edits his vocals. It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
Lord, and I'm just like, oh my God! I feel like a lot of people are doing that, and with AI, you can do that. You can just talk, and you make your sound as pretty as Billie Eilish, and I'm like, oh, Jesus. I
Yes.
don't. I mean, bless anyone who's going into the music industry. Good luck to you. I wish you the best. But and I hope that AI bots don't win this war. But I'm rooting for you guys. I'm just not confident enough to do it because I'm just scared of how, they're gonna prefer AI singers over real singers, which is sad, to be honest. I mean, I think Timberland's the one that signed the first AI pop artist, right?
Yeah, that I don't know. I know more about like there's AI actresses, there are AI social media accounts that I like. One of them, I got a ad on my feed for some reason. Like, it says Jenny or something explores, and I was like, what does that mean? So it's just AI image of her in different places to promote those places. And it is powered by a travel agency or something. And I'm like, what? And I've seen AI DJs, and they're not as good because again, it's the algorithm that our taste changes, our mood changes, and AI doesn't know that. So that's why it's not that effective, but it is good. And it can, with someone who has a little bit of musical knowledge, can advance it to a degree that it would be really scary. There would be no DJs anymore. We can hire just one AI person in the club and prompt it like just play something that everyone would dance, and voila. So
Yeah,
it is
exactly.
scary.
I think that no matter how it goes, which it is scary because like Timberland, I don't know if you remember Timberland from the
Early 2000.
Missy,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. He produced the first AI artist, which the music videos are cool and stuff, and they sound perfect because they're AI. But
Hmm.
it's sad because it's like, what about the real music? I'm old fashioned. I'll always be old fashioned. Be the year 2050, and I still want to see a live person, a real singer over an AI because I can do that on my phone or my computer. Why do that? That's not special. So I rather see it in person and discover something new than have an AI generate me a song and then I'll be like, okay, cool. It's not the same when I'm listening to it on my Apple Music and it's so and so artist and like, oh, it's an AI artist and I'm like, it's not the same because I know that person didn't work for it, didn't have any kind of thoughts or any kind of inspiration when they wrote this music. It's all generated. The
Yeah.
beauty about musicians is they sing from their heart. They sing from their past, from what's hurting them, from what's inspired them, what makes them feel good. And the beauty, like, I wish I lived in an earlier generation. I don't. But in the 80s, you can tell people were singing from their heart. And
Yes.
it was really good music in the 80s, like Madonna, Duran Duran, Hall and Oates, you know. And the music, the 80s was when The Cure was coming out, Depeche Mode, um, all that music, and they probably had to spend like so many years and time like developing those new sounds. Now I can just push a button and there it is. So I just feel that it's just the music industry, the way it's going, it's sad for a lot of new artists, and I just hope it doesn't become a thing, but who knows? People are so used to Chat GPT nowadays. They might be like, well, I want to make my own music, let AI create my own music. So
Yeah.
I really fear what's gonna happen, so
Yeah. We
I
were
don't know.
talking about this, my friend and I. There would be a future like they would be just like prompt in the story and they will be like, oh, make me a movie and you'll see the movie. So I don't know. It is scary, that's for 100% sure, but I don't know. It will be somewhat of a niche thing, like people who go to opera, where people do listen to live music, and maybe it will be high class, but I'm hoping for the best and always prepare for the worst, as they say, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So we have 3 more minutes for this meeting. How much time do you have for this? You have allotted for this Zoom meeting.
It's up to you.
Okay, because I want to go one more session. We will talk more about it because I'm really intrigued with all of this. I don't know much about it. And then we will talk about then we'll talk about your future projects and everything. And then at the end, obviously, then we'll end. Okay. So that's good. Any short point that you want to mention? It's like, in the business right now, in have you heard about the whole David situation? I'm assuming you have.
David? No.
DA4D, David, the one who unalived a 13-year-old.
There's the
Eh,
one they found in her car?
Yes.
Oh, he has TikTok songs that are like people use I don't care if I'm lost. It's like they use that song anytime someone dies or passes away.
Yeah.
David David gets a lot of hits from TikTok from that. Yeah. I didn't know he wrote that song until after the article after it came out that he they found that girl in his car.
Yeah. And they
Um,
had a romantic homicide, and he is being linked to another 13 or 15-year-old girl that has been missing. So
Jesus.
I'm like, the worst part was, okay, have you heard the verdict on Diddy?
I just watched the documentary that they came out on Netflix
Mm.
yesterday. The Reckoning. Diddy the
Yeah.
Reckoning. Yeah, there was a lot of video, there was a lot of testimonials from a lot of people about what he did during he was responsible. He did what I used to do, organizing like shows and stuff way
Mm.
before he was a producer. And he put an event together, a basketball show, and this was like 92, 91,
Mm.
and he oversold it, and by the time like they opened the doors for everybody to come in, there were like all these people came in all at once and crushed one another and died in this concert because we oversold it. There were people trampled to death, and nobody talked about that. I never knew about that, but he was responsible for that whole situation, and they just, swept it under the rug. And he's responsible for a lot of more horrible things, but I just brought it up because, if you're putting a show together, event together, and this is mindful for anyone, not just me, bookers, whatever, you have to, keep in mind the capacity. You have to keep in mind how many people you can sell tickets to, how many people can be there, and what's the cutoff. If you do oversell something, like no matter what it is, if it's a metal show,
Wow.
rock.
Okay, is there any current trend that you in music that you don't like apart from what we talked about? Oh, by the way, there was one thing that came into my mind. I didn't say it earlier. There was one phase of rapping when there was like the triplets were used, like ta 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 ta, like Panda. Have you heard Panda?
Pen, 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 pen.
Yeah, yes, yes. Panda, panda, panda,
Oh,
panda.
I remember when they used to use the bird chirping, and I find that amusing when they used to go. I remember that. I found that so amusing. Like it was. Sometimes music can be like, I don't know if you're supposed to take it seriously or you're just supposed to just be comedic about it. Like you like that one movie, what's it called, The Room with Tommy
Yes,
Wiseau.
yes.
Sometimes I feel music can be like that kind of like funny and not taken seriously, like, and and because how am I supposed to take a guy chirping bird like seriously? I'm like, I can't take that seriously. I
Yeah,
come from
no.
the I come from listening from back when Pac was around, back when Bay was around, and NWA. Like I wasn't alive, but those were like CDs and tapes that my cousins who were around during that time gave to me. 3 6 Mafia, all that. So for me to take something like bird chirping and someone going yee yee, seriously, I can't. I just laugh. I just like I'm just gonna say this is comedic and just call it a day.
Yes, absolutely. And
Yeah.
it's one of the things that is there is for example, right? There's Oh, I have this is a flashlight, by the way.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. I have ADHD, so yeah. So,
No worries.
okay. I forgot about it. What was I about to say? I forgot. Okay, never mind.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Weird Al made a whole his whole career about making spoofs or parody songs.
Yes, yes. Weird Al is a genius for it because you're not supposed to be taking it seriously. Although Weird Al is an exceptional musician. That's, he plays the accordion like no one else's business. So, he's really good. But the way he interpreted music to his own comedic style was just funny. And sometimes you have to laugh in the music where you can't take everything so seriously to the point where it's like, come on, like we all enjoy a laugh here
Hmm.
and there. And I love that a lot of artists were willing to work with him and be like, yeah, you can remake my song a funny song. Like I think he's the first of his kind to do that, and I love it. I've never been to a Weird Al concert, but I've heard from my friends that it's an experience.
Yeah, and everyone loves him. That's right. He's positive in all the ways that matter.
Yeah, and music should be fun. There should be like I remember when that song came out, the "What does the fox say?" It
Oh
was
my
like
God.
so stupid, but they
It
knew what they
was
were doing.
Yeah, it was meant to be stupid. It was not meant to be serious.
Yeah, there's some songs that are just like they're so dumb it's great. It's
Yeah.
satire.
Yeah,
Um,
there's this guy. Have you heard of Little Dicky?
oh yes, but Little Dicky's really good.
Yeah.
Little Dicky, he does the funny rap stuff, but Little Dicky, I also saw him on the Double XL when he was first coming out, and
Hmm.
he had to do freestyle with all these other rappers as well. And he was so quick with it. He was
Hmm.
insanely quick with it. So he's a really good rapper when it comes to battling one another. Oof, I wouldn't want to get into it with Little Dicky. He's funny, but he's also very good. I love him. He's great.
Yeah. So I think that's the main theme of this podcast and this conversation, right? You can do anything as long as you're talented. But the moment we see people are not stupid, even though people are not all people are as musically inclined, they don't know much about it, but they can still feel if someone is talented or not, and it will be called out one day or another.
Yeah, I think some people should be humbled instead of coming out of the woodworks. If you come out of the woodworks saying, I'm the best of the best, but you have no hardly any training to go your own, you you're saying you're really saying you're the best of the best. I've seen the best of the best. You sure about this? He's like, you
Yeah.
sure about that? Now, if you're saying like, oh, I'm just coming out with new music, check it out. You're barely getting to know your sound, your experience, experimenting. Experimenting is always good. It's always good for artists to change your sound, to develop new skills. I think every musician, even famous musicians, the Beatles experimented, right? And they went
Yeah.
from doing, yeah, they Sergeant Pepper. I'm not a big Beatles person. I just know that they came from doing like poppy 60s stuff to doing some psychedelic stuff that was made no sense, but it was good at the time. And I think it's good to experiment, and that's musicians should be humble, should be, happy they get to do this. There's a lot of people who come from different places don't have the opportunity like we do to get to do anything or have the tools to do anything at all. Some people live a very, very poor lifestyle from third world countries and stuff, and they never get this chance. So I feel that everybody should be humble and just happy to be able to create something that it's there, then they're not like somewhere like North Korea. Okay. You
Yeah.
know, yeah.
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 So just
Yeah.
saying.
We should be grateful.
We
Yeah.
really should. And we shouldn't treat any other people less than us just because they have less followers, or, you know, they're not as they're not doing what we're doing. They're not doing music, or they're not, some people don't want to do it, and that's okay. Everybody to each its own. I don't like it when people get a big head and start acting like they're rock stars when they're not. You know, it just it irritates me. It's like, stop it,
Yeah,
oh, you know, like you're not there yet. Calm
yeah.
down.
One thing that comes
Yeah.
into my mind, I'm not sure if you remember that. Jake Paul came up with a song. Jake Paul, not Logan Paul. His younger brother, who is
Hmm.
boxing now for some day, and he said that Kendrick Lamar, hold on to your spot because I'm coming after you or something.
I think he
And
was messing with him. I don't think he was serious. There's
I
nobody
hope,
wants to come after Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick
uh,
Lamar destroyed Drake. You don't want to
yeah,
mess with Kendrick Lamar. I mean, not that Drake was easy to destroy from the first place. Let's just be honest. Drake was not bad,
yeah,
but Drake wasn't like the best. I mean, if you can name five rappers, I'm pretty sure Drake wouldn't be in the
yes.
best five rappers.
But somehow, that's one thing me and my friend were talking about. Somehow, Drake, when Drake started, somehow he still was relevant for long enough until the fallout with, no, it was 24. Yeah, it was 24, right? In 24, 23, he basically ended him, buried him, and make a house on top of it. But Kendrick Lamar did. But yeah, he still was relevant for a long time. And rappers who were, if not good, but as good as him, faded away in obscurity.
Yeah, well, with Drake, Drake comes from acting. His real name is Aubrey Grant, and I remember finding out about Drake before he was Drake with Degrassi. Degrassi was big. It was like a soap opera for kids. I watched Degrassi. If you
Mm.
didn't have cable, you had Degrassi. That
Okay.
was and there's a lot of Degrassi fans. I'm one of them. Um, and I remember he would rap a little bit of Degrassi, and he was barely starting his music there. And I think that's why Drake was so relevant because they're like, wait a second, isn't that the guy from Degrassi? Like, I've seen him before. He's
Mm.
rapping, like he's doing rap, and it's not bad. I mean, Drake discovered The Weeknd, and The Weeknd is, you know, he's phenomenal. So, not a good actor, but I'm sorry, I'm not gonna give that to him, but a very good musician. Um, but yeah, and I think Drake became so relevant because of all the drama he stirred up. The song "Starting from the Bottom, Now I'm Here." Sir, you were in a TV show
Yeah.
that was broadcasted to millions and millions of people. I'm sure you got a paycheck there every once in a while. You were relevant in the 2000s because of that TV show, so I'm sure you got acting gigs. I'm sure you got something out of it. And he's gonna try to sell the fact that he worked at Walmart for that little time, for those 43 years that he wasn't doing movies or TV shows, he worked at Walmart. Walmart is the lowest of the lowest from being a superstar to go. You have to really like have zero to your pocket to be working at Walmart. So
Mhm.
he's trying to relate to people and say, I was poor like you. When were you poor like us? Can someone you were in Canada, which is not known as a very dangerous place as far as Canada is known for people not locking their doors. That's how
Yes,
safe Canada
yes,
is.
yes.
Um, and he's trying to relate to the hood life here in Compton.
No.
I've been to Compton. I've been to Compton in the 90s. I visited Compton, hanged out in Compton because I had cousins and uncles who were very important, stayed in Compton. Um, so you're telling me that you're trying to relate to people in Compton who lived their life really, really poor and had to survive every day, and like
No.
I thought that was just so phony of him. I couldn't because it's living poor is really it's sad. I lived very poor when I was younger, very, very poor.
Mm.
And I just think that, trying to use your street cred, a fake street cred, pretending you're something you're not, just so you can be relatable, just so your name can stay up there, is kind of sad. Like I think Kid Rock did that too.
Mm.
Kid Rock claimed he was from the Detroit, um, the trailer from Detroit, the areas from Detroit, and he wasn't. He was from the rich part of Detroit. He went to boarding schools. He was
Mm.
never about the streets. He was always like his parents paid for everything. He never really had to work a day in his life. The person who was from the streets of Detroit was Eminem.
Yes.
He really lived in the trailers. He really had that life. He worked as a, I think as a cook somewhere while he was
Yeah.
trying to make his demo to give to Dre. So I think a lot of rap, not mostly rap, but some musicians try to stay relevant by trying to relate to people who are in poverty. And it's like you're creating a persona that was never you. Just be honest about it. Don't lie just so you can relate. You know, it's people who really live that poor life never didn't are not really like, oh, I'm glad I lived a poor life my whole life. No, I bet they wish they could have lived like you, better
Yeah.
life. So it just makes me upset when people do that. It really does.
Yeah. It comes back to the point, right? Be honest, be humble, be grateful. You know what I mean? I guess that's
Hmm.
why they don't enjoy and be grateful to it, because if you give me that fame, that money, I would be thanking my lucky stars forever, basically, every second of every time that I've lived that life. So I get it, and it's yeah, it is kind of sad when they do that, but um, yeah, the music scene is weird sometimes, a lot of times. And
Yeah.
with streaming and AI, now people are like, sometimes you can get bullied for one reason, and all the one-hit wonders, like their life just goes out of whack because they get famous out of nowhere and then they just crash and burn.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, a lot of people are hating on Carpenter.
Mm,
I don't hate Sabrina Carpenter. I have no reason to hate Sabrina Carpenter. Is her music my favorite music? No, it's not my style. However, though, she's upfront. She said, "Hey, I was a child actress." She was a child actress.
mm,
She did that for a while. She wanted to do music. She's 20 something years old. She
mm,
wants to dress differently, dress more, you know, in her own skin. She's a growing young lady, and it's like, okay, cool. I'm no one to tell a woman of age
mm,
how to dress, how what to wear. Because if you're 23, 24, it's not my, you're an adult. You make your own decisions as long as
mm.
you're not like exposing all of it to the world. But if you're wearing like a, I don't know, a corset or something like that, like so she's wearing a corset, big deal. She's talking about sex in her songs, big deal. I'm sorry if mostly children go see her, you know, you're the parent. If you don't want your child to go see her, then don't have your child see her. Don't have her child listen to her music. If that's upsetting you so much, then don't do it. Be like, hey, I don't like you listen to music. But Sabrina Carpenter can be parenting other people's kids just because that if and a lot of people like to blame her, and they blame Britney too, that she was over sexual, she was, and she's listening to kids, and it's like those you're supposed to be protecting your kids from listening to that kind of music if you're that upset about it.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things where I think women get targeted a lot for being themselves. Madonna was targeted a lot for being herself. Madonna in her 30s, mid 30s, was like doing like erotica, S&M type of stuff. She was already in her 30s, and people were
Mm.
like going after her, talking, saying how trash she is. I'm like, she's in her 30s.
Yeah.
She's not she's not that young anymore. And she's going through a transition of her life where she wants to talk about sex, and she can. It's okay for a guy to do it, but not for a woman to do it. It's ridiculous. And even now it's becoming a thing. So I think the reason why Taylor Swift got so popular because Taylor Swift doesn't talk about that, about sex. Taylor Swift talks about, you know, just the guy she was
Heartbreak.
crushing on, and now they broke up, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
so and so heartbreak. And okay, what, and it's fun for the whole family, I guess.
Yes.
But it's just
And
unfair how women are seen, that it's like, oh, well, she was, 11 and she started this kids show, and now she's 22 or 23 and she's sexualizing herself, and it's like she can now because she's an adult.
yeah.
Like, you know, Bob Saget was in Full House playing a, nice dad that cleans and likes vitamins, and Bob Saget in real life is not. It's, I don't know if you've ever seen this comedy, but wow,
Oh,
it's
oh, he was
yeah.
like really uh lewd, as the people say.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, I can't say anything of that because oof, your channel will get banned. But if you ever
Yeah.
seen it, it's like, oh, dude, like But
Yeah.
it was, but no one complained. No one said anything. No
Yeah.
one said, oh, it's wrong with him.
Not really, because there was this one, right? Literally in almost, that's why sometimes I don't like current hip hop sometimes, because most of it is about body parts now. That girl this girl that, and mostly it's just guys. And that's why I don't like. It's not, it's the lyrics is just like so vulgar, and I'm not a prude, by the way. So it don't take me like that. But it's just sad because there was like Queen Latifah when she was rapping, she called out on it like when in the early 90s when they were like, you're just objectifying women and it's not us for allowed. I think that's why Doja Cat got famous because she did the same thing but from a girl's perspective. So I
Yeah,
don't know.
I think Cardi does it a lot too.
Yeah.
Cardi and Megan did the song WAP. Remember that?
Oh yes. Yes.
Yeah, we all
Yes.
know what that song's about. So,
Yes.
um, I mean, to each its own. I think if whatever you're comfortable with singing about, go for it. I'm the kind of person that gets uncomfortable about that kind of stuff, maybe because I'm a little old-fashioned, but I'm
Mm.
just like, no, doesn't mean I'm gonna take that away from the artist and just say put them in the crossfires and be like, no, you suck because you talk about this. It's like, talk about whatever you feel it's right. Just you know, it might not be for me. Um, I remember like in the 80s, like in the early 80s, there was controversy for like this one musician who's like, she's only 14 years old, leave her alone.
Mm.
And the lyrics are, if I could, I would pick you up and take you into the night. And the
Oh
music
my
video
God.
is this is 1982, way before I was even a thing.
Mm.
I don't my parents weren't even like um
Yeah.
but yeah, like the music video is cringy because it's a little girl he's talking about,
Yeah.
and he comes into her bedroom, and all of a sudden they're whisked away in the night, just like in little clouds, just talking to one another, having like about a love story. And I'm like,
Ugh.
this doesn't seem right.
It's absolutely not right.
Look at the song. I forget who sings it, but it's
I
from
don't want to
19.
look at the song. No.
No, it's
No.
bad. You can't. No, I'm not saying like look at the music video. You can't watch the music video, but you can hear the lyrics. You're just like, what the heck were they thinking in the 80s? In the
Oh
80s, there
my
was a lot of songs that had to do about younger women and older men.
God. Oh my God. Ew. Ew, ew,
Yeah.
ew, ew, ew. There was
I
this one.
asked permission for this girl who was 16 or 17 at the time for her parents to be with her. I believe Mick Jagger did the same kind of similar to. I could be wrong. A lot of musicians from that era did a lot of that stuff. That's why you hear a lot of little girls in their lyrics.
Jeez.
Hmm.
Just on a cross.
If you go into the wormhole of it,
Hmm.
you'll be like, Jesus.
Yeah.
Uh, the one guy who tried to put us, not a put us, I guess like a lot of people blame him because he's the reason why the whole hair metal scene ended, the rock scene ended like that. The whole groupie scene ended.
Hmm.
And I'll be honest, I like Motley Crue. I'm
Hmm.
a Motley Crue person. I love Motley Crue. They have great songs. I like some hair 80s metal.
Hmm.
But I also like grunge. So I know when Nirvana came in, that was the big like stop the whole party, and everybody hated Kurt Cobain but about it. But I think he was trying to open people's eyes to what musicianship should really be. It shouldn't be girls drinking, partying all the
Hmm.
time. It should be it can be, not it should be, but it can also be emotions, feelings, depression, sadness, things that you're
Hmm.
thinking about. It can also be that. but
Yeah.
and he gets a lot of hate for that. And he was a bit advocate for women of rock during the riot with Bikini Kill, all that.
Mm.
So I feel like he gets a bad rep, but also a lot of people do love him because of how big of an impact he was for those who were struggling from mental health. So
Not just rock, but it is infamous in rock bands was the drug culture. They were like all of them were like really into like they were really using all of the kinds and to a unhealthy degree that some of them did passed away from ODing. So I don't know.
yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, like the great ones are gone. Soundgarden, Chris Cornell's gone. Um, he's Pearl Jam, not Pearl Jam. Stone Temple Pilots, Scott Weiland's gone.
Hmm.
Chester Bennington, Linkin
Oh
Park.
yes, oh my God, he
There,
was
there's
my
so
whole
many good.
childhood.
I know that was a lot of people's childhood. That yeah, that was sad. So like, unfortunately, a lot of people struggle with addiction, and also, there's depression, sadness. A lot of mental health issues, and a lot of people were brought. If you were raised, I guess, in the 60s, 70s, or 80s, you were raised, and even in the 90s, you were raised not to talk about it. That you kind of had to just be quiet about it. And that's why I think that grunge had an impact because they were like, okay, if I can't talk about it to anyone, I'm gonna talk about it in my music.
Yes, and I think that's a best form of expression. And when something is personal to someone, you feel it, and it just hits you different in a way. You know what I mean? Like you,
Mhm.
I'm not sure, but have you cried while listening to a song?
Mm, yeah, but I can't think of a song right now. Um, it's been a long time. I can't think of the name of the song anymore.
Oh, okay. I can tell you which song I cry almost every time. It was like the dogs. Netflix has a documentary named Dogs, right? And its theme song it always tears me up.
I
I'll
haven't
send
seen
you.
it.
I'll send you on DMs and please. If you have a dog, it will definitely hit a little bit different.
There's one on my lap right now. She's
Oh,
sleep.
really?
She's sleeping. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, who is she?
She's snoring pretty loud. Her name is
Okay.
her name is Harleen,
Oh.
and she didn't get enough sleep last night, so she's sleeping on my lap.
What breed is she? Is she a big dog, small?
No, she's a little dog. She's a Pomeranian
Oh,
Dachshund. Yeah, and
wait, wait, let
she's a
me show
baby.
you. Let me show you something. Uh,
Yep, you're waking up.
hmm, yeah, I'm not.
No,
Oh,
there she is, right there.
oh, oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, she just has. Can't put you back down. She likes to be on my lap, so
Oh, yes.
that's her favorite place.
Any future projects that you want to talk about?
Yeah, so I'm in another tribute band for Garbage, the band Garbage from the 90s. I know, right? It's funny how they gave themselves that name.
Okay. The band name is Garbage. The band
Yeah.
is not Garbage. Okay.
They gave themselves, but they were really the band name is Garbage. That's what it is. But yeah, we're doing our first show on December 22nd, 7th, 27th at Valley Rocks.
Yeah.
Um yeah, we go on. The whole event has like three other original bands opening up, and we'll be playing there from 6 to 10. So anybody wants to go, that's our first gonna be our first show. I'm in another tribute band for Deftones. I'm the only girl doing it.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah. Yeah, it's competitive because well, I'm the only girl, so that's the difference. That's what makes me like, I guess, different than the other
stand
one.
out.
Yeah, because the other ones are boys. So, but yeah, it's we're probably gonna have more shows next year. So looking forward to next year. And also, I'll be putting more shows together for my production for Deadly Z Production, which is where we do event coordinating and musical events together in different venues. So we'll be doing that. Probably working with tribute bands, some original here and there, depending on what the theme is. But I don't have anything as of yet of what the next event's gonna be. Right now, I'm just taking it easy because it's holidays. It's the
Yes.
holidays, yeah.
Yes, that's yeah. And we have the Queen of Christmas, Mariah Carey.
Oh
She's
yes.
alive again.
Yeah. I do think Mariah, like, no matter what people think about her, how they feel about her, and they're like, oh, she's a diva. And I'm like, well, yeah, she's been doing this forever. She's been doing this for a really long time. She has the pipes to back it up. She's one of the hardest working women in the music industry. So I think she can be. I'm just, she's I remember listening to Mariah Carey when I was a little kid for the first time, with her and Old Dirty Bastard.
Oh, okay.
Fantasy.
Oh
Fantasy,
yes. Oh
yeah.
my God.
And I was just like, she has a very beautiful, unique, high voice that it's very hard to replicate for anyone else to try to replicate, mimic those vocals. It's insane.
Mm.
So she's she's one of the best singers of all time, along with Miss Whitney Houston, in my personal opinion. And I love that, December has become her thing now. Good for
Yes.
her.
Yeah.
She'll never be out of a job.
Yes.
She, there'll never be a day where she'll be like struggling. And I think keeps her going. Sadly, to me, it was sad to hear how Whitney Houston, one of the top selling female musicians of all time, her demise. She died pretty broke. I think her father took a lot of her money. Bobby Brown took a lot of her money.
Yeah.
The music industry took a lot of her money, and she was working, working, working all the time that she relied on drugs to keep her going. She was a workhorse, and unfortunately, it took away her voice, took away everything she had. It even took away her own daughter in the future. And it's just a really sad story. Like,
Yeah.
so I'm glad that Mariah's story is not like that, and that that Christmas has brought her joy, made her connected to her family, and it's a new chapter in her life that's like people just love. I always want to see the positive, and I don't want to keep hearing about my favorite singers or musicians die such a sad death. I don't, I just, it's there's so much of that going on.
Oh,
So
but it is a this is a similar story. It's a constant theme with almost all the big musicians. If I remember correctly, I was a kid back then, but it was all over the news for like almost a month when Michael Jackson died, and they were all of them were saying the same thing. He died broke. He died broke. He was applying from loans after loans after loans, and I'm like, it's always with all these musicians, it's the same story. They die with nothing. It's always the record
yeah.
labels and everything, no matter how big they are.
Yeah, well, Michael Jackson couldn't stop spending. He had a problem with spending because he was empty inside. I mean, I think anyone would be empty inside if you were getting beaten the crap out of you as a the 12-year-old, 13-year-old to perform until you get every single note step right. You practically had no childhood. Your childhood was to eat, sleep, and drink music every single day, to
Mhm.
be the best of the best, or else your family would go in poverty. It's a lot of pressure to put on a kid, and Joe Jackson was terrible to him. So, of course that he's insecure. He dealt with horrible depression. Um, and what some ways when it comes to mental health and you have no other outlook, the other way to cope is by spending. It's being a shopaholic because you feel that that's, you know, I guess making you feel better or helping the loneliness or the emptiness because you're buying something nice for yourself. And it happens a lot with people, but he underwent so much surgery and he had to be prescribed drugs after drugs after drugs because I've never had anything surgically done in my life, but I imagine that when you do, you have to take certain medicine to make the pain go away, which can be deadly. So I think he just wanted all the pain go away, physical, mental, to the point where it took his life. And it's really sad, you know, because he's one of those musicians who is the best, who can say I am the best, who can literally say that and can act like he like can act like the world is around his little finger. He can be that, but he never did that. He was super humble. He was so humble. He never said once, I am the best of the best. He's never said that. He's never been one to, he never had a rock star mentality. He's never been like, I'm Michael Jackson, I need this. Never. And he could demand that. So I think it's just sad to see that there'll never be another Michael Jackson ever in this world.
Yeah.
Just like there'll never be another Ozzy. Um, Never. Was Ozzy like did Ozzy have a voice that like I don't know, was a cappella? No, Ozzy was just his own thing. Ozzy was just his own. He created a persona, and that's what everybody loved about him. He was himself. He did what he wanted, and that was it. And
Mm,
I don't think anyone can replicate it. So when he passed away, a lot of people were sad too.
yes,
I
I was.
actually, when you told me about a song that makes me cry, I'm gonna say is "Mom, I'm Coming Home."
Oh yeah, that is. Yeah, now it has another
Mm,
another layer of sadness to it, added to it because yeah, after his demise.
yeah. So that one's probably the one that makes me like tear up when I hear it. That's the only song I can think of.
Mm, yeah, absolutely. And it is the so yeah.
Okay.
It was an amazing to talk to you. It was a really good conversation. I learned a lot, and I wish to have to talk to you again, hopefully in a panel. And thank you for giving me your time and thank you for being a guest in my podcast. It was so amazing to talk to you.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for having me.
Yes, and cut.
Please, I'm begging you. Please. I'm desperate. I don't know what to do. Please subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribe for more content.